Hi, welcome to session 4 of Against the Vampire Conspiracy, Ties of Blood. This session we are Constantine, as played by Alan Reese, will not be joining us as he has far more important things to be doing tonight than stopping a vampire conspiracy. And instead we were joined by the lovely Yelena, Dylan and Mia, as played by Donna, Sabine and Puckett. You are all familiar with them, so we will not be, if you've been watching this, so we will not do introductions. But I believe we did downtime last session and got everything up in place. So now it is simply a case of what do we want to do this session? We are entering into this part of the cycle of play, which you would think I would have internalized, but I always have to keep checking every single time what the cycle of play is. So I also don't know why I didn't print off the quick reference guide, because instead I've got the book, so I keep looking back at it and then I have to find the page. Cycle of play, page 61, for anybody who has splashed out for the print on demand copy of Against the Dark Conspiracy, which I think is everybody here, right? No? You just got the PDF?
I think I got the PDF somewhere. I don't know if I downloaded it. I had a large backlog of stuff I had needed to download from Kickstarter. And this game I always played with you guys, and it wouldn't be the same. And someone here always knows how it's played, be it you or Alan. So
I will say that having running it now makes me realize just how much of, I thought I knew every rule, and then I'm like, actually, there's still a fair bit that I just rely on Alan to go tell me every single time. I guess it's what happens when you have the writer of the thing here. So
yeah. Even when he runs it, he has to look it up in the book. So
yeah, true. But then he keeps twiddling with it, doesn't he? Tweaking. But in any case, everybody can reset their load, refresh their specialism, and clear any gear they are carrying. And thanks to the efforts of last time, you can all declare the Seward serum, which will just take one box. And I suppose if I was more diligent, like Rich or Alan, I should have added the Seward serum to the equipment drop-down list in the data section, but I am not that diligent, as we have established in every game that you've ever played with me. I hate fiddling with the Excel sheet. Okay.
And we still return well, so.
Yes, it's true. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that's usually because Alan or Rich does it anyways while I'm playing. So, but in any case, here we are on to Operation 3. And so the nature of the game, we have, Alan has put in quite a few of the leads there. And he's expressed, I think, a hope of, saving for the, he said that he wanted to save Prosperine for the finale, but my feeling is that whatever's the last session will become the finale, That's just the nature of this game, frankly. So they're all on the table, I would say.
Yeah, but I'm sure Alan said that he would like to be there for the Prosperine, so I guess we might do something. Yeah. We have enough options, right? So we don't have to do that.
Yeah, I thought this session was going to be about locating where the Prosperine is.
Yeah, or looking. Yeah. I think we were actually trying to get into the EU thing and maybe stumble across some clues about the Prosperine on the way, because I mean that can happen.
My recollection is that based on the tracking devices, we have a location on the Prosperine.
Yes, right? Pretty much, yeah.
And also, I think the real thing we're looking for the location of is Dylan's tattoo.
Yes, I mean, the issue with the spontaneously generated section of this and only playing loosely with the established material is that I never want to close off a lead, right? So when the Prosperine is on the table, then I will give you the flimsiest of fictional positionings to say, yeah, you know where it is, because otherwise that's 3 sessions spent searching for a location as per an investigative game. This isn't really an investigative game.
Well,
But
we did
however,
establish last time that the SBA coffins will basically give us tracking devices, which will lead it back to the Prosperine.
exactly, yes. But I would say that the EU thing is probably quite far away from the Prosperine / Carfax / operations. It's more of a scheme of the conspiracy than a route back into those. However, we could easily frame a session that is all about prepping for the raid on the Prosperine or finding out information, more information about it.
That sounds fun to me.
And we will just do that in the style of, Against the Dark Conspiracy, where we will just go around doing, what's the leads that we have here, what's the who, what, when, where kind of thing, and we'll see what comes out.
Were we saying that we were heading to London for this?
Could be wherever you want, to be honest. I didn't want to define where the Prosperine was either.
Okay.
Again, the problem with the Prosperine's a thing that exists in the canon of Dracula dossier, but where and what it is up to the definition of what we define in these operational sections. So,
Gotcha.
London would be, although Carfax, for example, is certainly within the UK. Well, so should we put it in mind as the operational objective being discover more about HMS Prosperine?
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Let's go discover. And if we're doing it in London, we can just what's the word? What I'm looking for? Seek relief from the horror all the time.
And Dylan can buy hats.
Of course.
It's true. That is very true. Oh, wow, yeah. I mean, yeah, you go look for Prosperine or whatever.
So with this in mind, I'm going to start with Donna, have you done who or what is the focus of the operation yet?
I'm sure I've done
I think you've done the other ones.
opposition and why, but I'm not sure I've done anything this far up.
Well then, now is your chance. Who or what is it? What is it that you're going to do to gain? How are you operators finding your way into this secure naval asset that is being run by the rogue vampire hunting group of MI6?
So,
which so far what we know is HMS Prosperine is a naval asset that's essentially a code name that was retired. It's a shed in the middle of somewhere, right? It's the real HMS Prosperine. So you're familiar with the Navy and its terms, but it is a legend essentially for another naval asset. And what we know is that the SBAs get shipped back and forth from there, and that the source of the AVH samples that the conspiracy has, probably Ava Harfish, is on the Prosperine.
Yeah, I think maybe our focus here is on the logistical in and out to the Prosperine. They're, I guess, gray in terms of like how visible they are, but I imagine they're still getting official supply and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, so you're thinking the supply operations, in fact, which are outlined in some of that document that I made available
That
about
we
the
definitely
SBAs.
didn't read.
No,
Sorry.
that's okay. I'm more than familiar with. In my experience, whenever anyone's put out a handout in any of the Gauntlet games, I'm typically one of the only people who read it. So I'm not. I don't expect anyone to have read it beyond Puckett, who was responding live to that. But essentially, what that said was that some soldiers of E Squadron, the group who, the EDOM group who babysit the SBAs, the special biological assets. One of their duties is, you know, Prosperine resupply, which they must do through a front such as Watchtower Consultancy, who was essentially a front for security, you know. So why don't we call that some other organization in the drop-down menu? HGD Shipping, I suppose, again, would be a natural, or Axel Logistics as a different conspiracy front company. Which would you?
Yeah, let's go for Axel. I like, you know, even if they do very similar jobs, I think maybe you want to compartmentalize your entire logistics operation instead of making it simpler. You want to make it a little bit more obscure.
Yes. So Axel Logistics, the resupply outfit for Prosperine. And then I suppose, where is the target Sabine? In Notting Hill, apparently.
It is in London, of course. I mean,
Yeah, that's Notting Hill. That's Notting Hill.
yeah, that is Notting Hill, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I was there. I took that picture.
Yeah,
I
there's
feel that.
there's a book exchange somewhere up there, which does loads of secondhand comic books. It's great.
Oh, okay. I just wandered around taking pictures of everything and wondered, why was it 30 degrees outside? The sun was shining when I was in London. That was weird. I mean, I had brilliant weather that year. Anyway, back to the game. Stop distracting me. Where's the target? So we've said, oh, okay, I have to figure out facility on the street. We're looking at Axel Logistics, the resupply outfit. Okay, so I think, what did we have so far? We had a train. What was the other thing we were at? That was some sort of skies.
A train and a executive spa atop a skyscraper in Shanghai.
Right. So I think for this we want something grimy and industrial, right? Just. Oh no, I've got a better idea. This is public official because they are not a public service, but they are adjacent of a public service. So they're in a building with lots of small, I think, contractors that mostly work for the government. And there are, is that a thing? Is that cool? I think this would be a very confusing building. No, let's go then with grimy and industrial.
So I'm just not sure what you mean.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I mean either. So.
And if we're talking about a logistics company, they might be at or near an airport.
Yeah, I like the idea that they are somewhere in a very rundown, really industrial quarter where you have some factories that are not going too well and stuff that is not up to specs and has been closed down for environmental violations and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not the best of neighborhoods, and maybe some lowlifes have moved in to, I don't know, ask people for money without being very polite about it.
Okay, so they're in an industrial area. So an industrial area implies that there is some form of industry there. A factory, a scrapyard, a warehouse, or I suppose.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a storage company, right? Where they store stuff for people and then drive it around.
A warehouse, then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's that's warehouses if businesses store stuff, but storage compartment means that even people can go and have a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only
So
choosing
like a
warehouse
rent a
floods.
space kind
And a
of.
Like
space,
lockups.
right, lockups. So if like the
So-
place where I stored my piano while I wasn't here.
Storage depot.
Yeah, storage depot, exactly. And that fits well with the logistics company, right? Because I mean,
Mhm.
okay,
I will say that the conspiracy probably doesn't use a, publicly accessible. They're not Delta Green. They're not that desperate.
Monday.
I mean,
Sure.
maybe there's a front, right, to
Yeah.
excuse dead drops and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I mean, Axel, whatever their name was, logistics, they're part of the conspiracy, but they're not the conspiracy themselves. So maybe they're cutting corners.
Well, so why don't we actually put the industrial storage depot,
Mhm.
and we can put that as a bit of the detail, which is a rundown storage locker company with a public front
Mhm.
and a secure area and secure and other and secure areas
Mhm.
for the conspiracy.
And the mafia.
And what is the opposition bucket?
Ooh. What opposition have we not faced yet?
Oh, you know what? I'm just going to go back into the, Dave tells you all about how like I worked this gig and there was this real for Axel Logistics and they had us moving things back and forth like files and everything, and I thought it was real crazy that we were putting this stuff out in a public place, but they had all these key cards and everything. There were files upon files and all kinds of things, and I swear there was like refrigerated units and everything back there. So yeah, it's I guess this is where Axel Logistics is storing things here because the conspiracy is moving things around due to scrutiny from elsewhere, essentially. So, but what is the threat? Watchtower Consultancy is looking a bit short on manpower these days, thanks to Make-A-Wish.
I mean, I wish there was another option on here, because
Like
I feel like in some ways what we're facing is bureaucrats, not necessarily paramilitary stuff, but just bureaucracy.
I mean,
but
the
the
problem
other,
with facing bureaucracy is that no matter what the bureaucracy is, it does tend to evaporate when you have a gun.
yeah. So given what Sabine laid out, I'm wondering about organized crime pawns. Like
Organized crime
maybe
pawns?
if they're like, this is like one of like the legitimate sort of front businesses that they use to funnel cash through and launder it. And it just happens to be for the conspiracy.
No, that's perfect. We already know that the conspiracy has various interests in different organized crime groups across Europe, not least a Russian gang called the Litsky Bratva. And last session, we learned about the Rusari, a Romanian group of mafias, all of whom could operate within the UK, thanks to our multicultural society.
I'm thinking that it might actually just be.
Well, I was about to say, feel free to invent another, if you want to have the Cray twins, I'm up for that.
I was kind of thinking about that, but not them specifically.
Oh, you mean the Ray siblings, right? Not the Cray twins. Yeah.
Well,
they're non-identical, of course. They were born 5 minutes apart. Totally different.
How tied in with the conspiracy do organizations working with the conspiracy have to be? I mean, could it just be like they're doing some shady stuff for some shady people and don't know all about the other stuff? Like they
Oh.
don't necessarily know that they're dealing with vampires or anything?
Overwhelmingly, people, the conspiracy operates mostly through fronts. It is not as big
Okay.
in terms of direct staff. I will say that the closer you get to the big details, and the more
Mhm.
directly involved they are. But in this case,
Okay.
it could just simply be you paid to do this storage depot, and
So
one guy at top of the organization, maybe like a lieutenant or something, is the only one who the conspiracy owns.
what was that guy's name in Snatch? Bricktop, Brickhead?
Bricktop.
Yeah. Let's
For
basically
these
have
fucking pigs.
yeah, let's have someone like him at the top of it as the owner. And there's probably a couple of competent people, but there's also a bunch of not quite kids, but people who have been under ASBOs at some point in their life, sort of like running the front, or working security, or just standing around smoking cigarettes,
ASBOs.
looking menacing. Yeah.
ASBOs, right. For a second I was like, ASBOs, what are you talking about?
Yeah, antisocial
no,
behavior orders.
yeah, no one calls them ASBOs over here. It's always the ASBOs,
Gotcha.
No, Sabine, the Cray twins are a 1970s notorious East End gangsters, romanticized kind of thing. It's not, I mean, they're old hat, they're dead.
I'm just thinking about it. So basically, like, have somebody at the top who has absolutely no problems like disappearing people who poke too close to their business, but really this is just a semi-legitimate front to launder money through.
Hey,
Because
no, I mean,
storage units, cash operation mostly.
Yeah, it's been the family business, isn't it? Me and my uncle's got the pigs and I've got the storage lockers. All right. So do you want to give them a name? So we've got organized crime. Do you want to give the firm a name?
Let's just call them the firm. That's what they call themselves.
That's a little bit like calling them the mafia, to be honest. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but wouldn't they be just like the guys who would call themselves the firm? Like, you know what that is. Like with this kind of
illusions of grandeur.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
exactly. They're the firm. No, not like the novel doofus.
The Playboys.
Ooh.
Ugh,
yeah,
hate
well,
them
that's
already. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, the Playboys. Yeah. Yeah, I used to run a gentleman's club, but then that string fellow, he got in there and he took away all my business, and I couldn't threaten to put the screws on him. So all I got left is this slag. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like a bunch of tracksuits and trainers. I'm never going to forget that video. And I don't know how many of you seen it, but there's basically a bunch of like guys hanging out in an alley, drinking beers, and then they start breaking chairs over each other.
Oh yeah, that looks great. Looks like a great day. Those
yeah. So
best.
That video though, you've seen it?
Yeah, I've seen that video. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's basically the level of their soldiers.
Cool.
And if you have a link to that video, maybe post it in chat so anybody who hasn't seen it isn't completely bewildered.
Strangely, do not have it saved in my bookmarks of videos to watch around later. Yeah, they're I think they're Geordies or something. I can't remember, but definitely no. I think they're Scottish even. But yeah.
Yeah, they wear Lonsdale t-shirts, that sort of shit.
That does not narrow it down, but yeah. Are we saying London, Kent way? Like
sure.
Southeast England? Yeah. So an East End firm who runs this little business and turns a blind eye. Okay, so that leaves us with Dylan, what are the firm doing? Puckett, you need to choose one of those options and move off the box for it to populate the next thing.
Yes, thank you. So
Here's what they are doing. They are doing ref. That's what they are doing.
So you want nameless organized crime pawns. There we go.
Okay. Ah. Ooh, planning a crime, settling a score, corrupting someone. No, that's preparing to attack, meeting their conspiracy handler. I think they're either planning a crime or settling a score. I feel that that might be fun for us to just walk into the middle of these guys trying to get back at, I don't know, the Russian mafia or whatever have you. Right.
I like it. Yeah, no, I'm totally. I was, you know, like, oh well, meeting the conspiracy handlers. What I think the nameless organized crime pawns have always been doing every time they've been selected in this game. Whereas I like the idea of settling a score, or, you know, like, yeah, you stole the shotgun, that antique shotgun from my bar, Jason. Give me that shooter.
I just want to listen to them talk all the session, right? That is so much fun. That accent is great. I understand about half of it, but it's great.
You remember Redcoat from the Blaze game? It was basically that accent with Batman with that accent, essentially. So we know that they're settling a score, or if that's what you've chosen, currently in the undefined one. So yeah, you know, just for the drop down boxes, you got to click on them and then click off for them to resolve properly.
Okay.
A thing that I've
are.
found in this game is everybody goes to the drop down menus to look at what the options are, and then it means that none of them like actually settle.
Yeah, that's mostly because
I just go to the data tab.
Yeah.
To shop around.
Yeah.
I am very nice and look at all the options, and I talk with people about the options, and I forget to choose an option.
So now we can frame an investigative scene during which you can try to add any more details to the outline that we've produced here. I would say that you know, useful detail, for example, might be why is it and what is it here that you think in particular you might be able to find, you know, like what, because Dave's given you the idea that this is this depot for stuff that the conspiracy is moving around, but, you know, some more concrete things to know that this is going to be relevant to Axel Logistics and Prosperine, because this isn't an Axel Logistics base as we've ended up at. This is a Axel, you know, this contains information about Axel Logistics, about the Prosperine supply and about the Prosperine itself. So, you know, that would be my suggestion for things that you might want to investigate to find out about, which could be based upon, you know, stuff that Dave tells you because you turned him as a conspiracy mole. He can feed it back to you, or it could be things that you have acquired, or it could be from surveillance. If you enter the Playboy's storage locker company, which I'm going to call, just for the sake of it, it's going to be called the Shoebox, because that's a reasonably tacky name, right?
is that the slang name for it, or is that the actual company name?
Nah, mate, that's the actual name, innit? So yeah. investigative scenes. You can also spend intel to describe an obstacle that would look cool overcoming during the operation. Oh, and you can also spend intel to add details to the briefing. So you can spend intel 1-for-1 to declare things about this mission, or you can do investigation scenes and ask me questions or define things. And so far, we don't believe that there is a supernatural on the ground.
I think I would like to investigate the storage company, like go there and rent a space, because they are public facing, so you can do that, right? You can go there and say, hey, I am this German tourist, I need to rent a space for my cello, please. My cello needs to be safe.
Sure. So you're going to go to the shoebox?
Yeah.
Dylan's going to go to the shoebox. Dylan can be in disguise as he goes to the shoebox.
Yeah, he will be in disguise, because I mean, he has to play the rather clueless type of person who will wander around and exclaim at everything that it is so British. How amazing is that, a teapot?
And you can now Heat can also be spent to. Okay, so would you like to roll a investigate? Would you like to roll investigate with your expertise of disguise?
Yes.
And ask me the question or frame a detail that you find out from this, depending on your roll.
Okay. Let's see how this goes. Oh wow, this goes terribly. It's a 3. That's a good start, isn't it?
3. That is a good start. Heat goes up. And as I have a full heat track, Yelena, your sister has left a message. Don't worry, darling, I will be back soon. I've just done some more contract works with GSV. They're really, they really liked what I did before, the mathematical papers and everything, and they said I will be back soon. I'll give you a ring as soon as I land. She didn't give you a ring. So I have just marked your asset.
Taken.
Who knows, where you might be on the Prosperine. Sadly, both.
In the next series, I'm gonna change to playing Yelena's sister as an operator who's been slowly infiltrating GSV.
It's a good call.
That's her only hope, really, of survival.
My my long-term character Jimmy Rook has had his anchor taken, and I keep thinking that, like, well, she'd make a pretty good librarian because she's like an archaeologist. But yes, so I'm still at full heat because that was 1-for-1 up and down. But you get the bare minimum that you need to proceed. Now, what in particular were you looking for, Dylan?
I was looking for how they protect this thing, right? Imagine like just a basic information about layout and security. That's what I was looking for.
Okay, so like we said before, there is a public section of it and a private section of it. Several of these big container areas are set aside behind a special barrier that you cannot rent out. There's long-term contracts essentially. And the way it's guarded is mostly through bribes to the local cops. No one official comes looking down here. No one, there's a lot of shady business going on in the front as well. and you get a bunch of these track-suited thugs just standing around, having a fag, farting around on forklift trucks, doing the rest of the business. It's mostly defended through obscurity. You get the impression that the conspiracy would not have moved it here, other than the fact that it is so low down on the rent. Like it is so low rent that it is probably off the radar of most things. Otherwise, they would have hired Watchtower Consultancy or a full firm.
I mean, we wouldn't be here if I hadn't wanted to go to that hacker exhibition.
Yeah,
right.
But one is like, oh, bloody Jerry, are you? Oh, well, all right. You can have a. Oh, you pretend to be German? Sorry, who are you pretending to be, Dylan?
Yeah, I'm pretending to be German, but
Yeah.
I'm pretending to be a German tourist and wouldn't understand what he was saying.
Yeah. Well, as they say on Harry Enfield, I won't mention it. Your money spends as good as anybody else's. What? Like, yeah. So yeah, this way, Governor. Now and also your cello, is it your cello?
Yes,
Yeah.
my cello. My
Yeah.
cello. It is a very fine instrument. Needs to
I
be.
got a foreign instrument too, if you know what I mean. They're horrible
Yes,
scumbags.
maybe we could do a concert at some time.
Oh yeah, I'd like that. Bit of class for these. You'd like some class, wouldn't you, Kevin? Fuck off. Fuck off, Daz. Yeah. So you get the impression that they're pretty shambolic, frankly.
Yeah.
As Kev slips in the finger and then fishes out a ID card, swipes his way back into the secure rooms.
Oh, ID. They have ID cards. Damn it! I couldn't get close enough to swipe one, right?
Not with a 3, I'm afraid.
No, not with a 3. No, damn it! That guy was moving. I don't know. I think he's
He stands unpleasantly close to you the entire time.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
Yeah.
And I have to fidget around to keep my cover and can't just.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not really turned on by him.
No, I think that Dylan is used to a much higher class of area, location.
Not necessarily, but this guy,
certainly more attractive ones.
Yes. If you have to be a low down grunt, you should have something going for you.
But you know what? I'm also gonna spend heat.
Oh wow.
Now, your previous safe house has been blown.
Oh no.
As you guys before, one of the reasons when you went over here, because we used it as tech equipment and explosives, so it became a target. It's now blown. It will take a spend of an intel to set up a new one, but when you fled the train and whatever, all of the gear that was left at the safe house was taken in a mysterious gas explosion that took it out. So now, essentially, you're gonna have to establish a new safe house if you want to declare any equipment beyond lightly loaded at this point.
Okay.
So I think one thing I'm making a note of for my own hack of this game is to give more ways for the conspiracy to spend heat upon you without your targets, your anchors being in play, because both Dylan and Mia have managed to take their anchors entirely off the board. I can't spend heat on that, which leaves me very little to actually spend heat on. But in any case, Elena, would you like to do an investigation or preparation?
Yeah, I think some investigation. I think it would be really good to know how Axel are moving things for the conspiracy. Is it trains? Is it white ISAs? Is this canal boats? Who knows?
So, how are you investigating this, given that is kind of the information that you might find within the storage depot?
Well, I mean, the other possibility is to do some kind of surveillance on the place and to see, whether we get any kind of red flags from different vehicles or different loads that are coming in and out.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah,
And
kind of things.
Maybe we'll have to connect the dots with a hacking run to match up what we're seeing, right?
Okay. So, now you don't have speciality of surveillance.
I don't.
You don't. You have tradecraft, deadly, and vehicles. Whereas surveillance is a separate skill. You could call in upon a contact.
I could.
Or you could
Just
try your
my
luck.
luck.
Yeah. It's been going well so far this game, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has done wonders for me. So would this be a smuggler, or is this like an information broker or something like that?
It would probably be they have a watcher. They can keep eyes on your target.
Okay, yeah.
Or an information broker. They can find things out.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with information broker, and
Okay.
then I can like do the watching myself, and then we're gonna supplement it that way. I mean, London is a good place for making. So let's call information broker Lee, and let's bring her into this. So that's 2 dice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, I have to mark stress, right?
Yes. And you can include your stress if you like.
Nope.
5. Nice. So on a 5, you get the minimum need to proceed, and control will answer 1 question. So, what you see is, as Dave mentioned, that that this is essentially a group. It seems as though like various offices are being emptied. Like you see computers, servers, filing cabinets, all being like dumped by these trucks, men in unmarked vans. You don't say much. Someone with your tradecraft can piece together that it is probably these are security service types, being told to just take something from somewhere to someplace, and they don't look very happy that they are having to socialize with these criminal types. Your information broker Lee says that this is, a way for a black books operation, because to keep off the books even further, because if anything does get found out, they'll be able to just, get it lost in the police investigation rather than part of the direct investigation into their own affairs. In some ways, hiding amongst the criminals gives you a bit of cover, frankly, because certainly if it was all burned down mysteriously one night, no one would think it was a government cover-up. They would just think it was a criminal element. But there are certainly held within the back rooms, the back storage lockers. There are some of Axel Logistics, data servers essentially from an office that they've closed down, which would contain a lot of valuable information, including perhaps ID codes.
Yeah. And maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I think I'm reading between the lines. That would be like offline servers, right? That
Yeah.
have been moved around. So we would have to do something a little bit more energetic to get Mia's claws into it.
Yeah, you'd probably have to take it, you know, find the rack, pull it out, take it out with you, take it to somewhere else rather than boot up. It's not installed, you know, it's not in a server room somewhere. It's just off racked basically. Is there an extra detail or question you'd like to ask?
I mean, here's a way we could get our hands on it. You know, is there, you know, some kind of, maybe in the you know, if we're gonna like do some crazy zoom in on the photography when that thing is getting delivered, do we see when it's due to get picked up or by whom, or some way we can get our hands on it through nefarious means?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you'd chosen meeting a conspiracy handler, that would be the conspiracy handler's coming to pick up the thing, but it's currently settling a score. So somewhere in the back rooms, somebody's probably having a very unpleasant time.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
in terms of, I just feel that that's running counter to the operation as we've defined so far. You know.
So maybe the question is like, you know, what else is going on at that location?
Oh,
right. So some other way into that location.
Yeah. Well, what you know is that the Playboys are in the middle of a turf war against shit, I don't know, what should I call them? The Moldy Crows. An Irish firm who, you know, is looking to take over any sort of area, you know, small areas of the sort of smuggling business that they can get their claws into, mainly, you know, interfering in the drug trade. And yeah, it seems as though the Playboys have recently taken certain members of the Moldy Crows. Certainly that is probably who was in the back of the van that Lee pulled a CCTV footage of a black bag over someone's head being brought into there.
Awesome. So I don't know, do we want to these I'm going to call them mouldy crows because they're Irish, you know. I'm going to completely Irishify that word for you.
Go for it. The mouldy crows.
Mouldy crows.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe we need to maybe let's see what Mia comes up with before we kind of find the wedge to apply.
And then finally, Mia, is there an investigation you would like to do?
What's the name of the dude who is at least the titular head of the Playboys?
Oh, you can have that for free. It is Barry Blinder.
Barry Blinder?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he pulls a blinder, and if you fuck with him, well, we won't be seeing much of anything soon.
I want to do something else. And specifically what I want to do, I want to hack into some banks and create accounts that look as though they are related to a far higher level and more dangerous type of crime than Barry's currently involved in. Like payments coming from international terrorist organizations, drug cartels, and so on. You know, to kind of make it look like he's involved heavily in the cocaine trade and arms smuggling.
Okay. To what end?
Both a carrot and a stick. I mean, depending on how well this goes, if I can actually make that money appear, we might be able to get Barry on side by saying, hey, listen, here's all this stuff that could be really, really bad for you. But you can actually withdraw that money if you help us out. And you'll get paid very well. And those accounts will just magically disappear.
Okay. Well then, if you would like to roll digital intrusion.
Alrighty, and that is gray and expertise. And I will go ahead and roll stress because why not? There is a 6 on expert on the gray die. So I will add 1 intel.
Mm-hmm. And you, I think, I don't think this is about what you find from the conspiracy. I think this is the fact that you are effectively, you know, all of these things exist. You are moving money around these nefarious trades, the drug trade, you know, and yeah, it's easy to just think of it as just money and digits and zeros and whatever. But as you're going around it, and you know, you got to lay a little bit of groundwork so that your threat's got to be plausible, right? Like you're not just handing in free money. And you know, you get just enough of a hint of just where this money did come from, the human suffering involved, the trafficking, you know, the child slaves, the nastiness of the tier of
International criminal underworld.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
And so that's what makes my stress go up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you roll for stress, that's what makes you roll for stress, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So let's see. Roll stress die. That's a 6.
Yeah. Yeah. And in fact,
I don't get another intel from that, do I?
You do not get another intel from that.
God damn it.
No. Yeah.
But my stress goes up.
Yeah, stress goes up. And I think, you know, in particular, your stress goes up because it was only possible to do this because the investigator who was trying to put all this together died in a car bomb not too long ago. And all you've done is pick up the information that they left.
It's MI5 that handles domestic stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, since I'm moving all the money around, I'm assuming that I have access to the files that this investigator left behind. So I'm just going to accumulate all this stuff.
They were a journalist.
Okay. Well, I'll accumulate all the stuff that the journalist left behind. I'll figure out something to do with it.
It was the, I don't know, the Mexico City papers or whatever. Trying to think of an analogy to Panama Papers.
Yeah. Real easy for journalists to die in Mexico. So this was a Mexican journalist that died?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I am really, really glad at this point that I already finished up with that year-long Pasiones game, because Silva probably would have stumbled into this. So, yeah, okay.
So that was a prep rather than an investigation scene. You have a slush fund of dirty money that you have linked to Barry Blinder, the head of the Playboys.
Yep. And like I said, it's both a carrot and a stick.
Yeah.
I want his cooperation. And if he helps us, well, he gets all that. And I erase the ties of where the money came from. Okay. And I think it's a fairly sizable chunk.
It is. So, does anyone want to spend any intel on declaring details about the operation or declaring an obstacle? Nope. Nope. I'm going to take it as a silence as a no from Puckett. So that is our operation. Get into the shoebox, get around the Playboys. You know, whilst they are having these issues with the Maldi Crows, and find out the server hardware that they have got from a the actual logistics reshuffle. You get the impression that the conspiracy would typically not operate with these, trust anything so big to these people, but needs must when the devil drives, and they're normal guys just disappeared off the face of the earth, it seems. Who knows where they went? So should we take our first break?
Works for me.
And can we call it 10 minutes? Come back at 20 past?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. See you at 20 past. Whoa. So we now go to how are you going to get into the shoebox, this grimy little storage depot in a very bad part of the old docks, right? I think
I
is
might
where
just walk in and have a talk with Barry.
that's Mia's point of entry. Mia's going to go in and walk in and have a talk with Barry. Okay. Let me go around to the others. Dylan?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really the sneaky type. That's not what I'm good at. I could be somebody I keep in the back pocket because I'm just hanging around pretending to be furniture, or I could come with Mia and pretend to be her bodyguard. I can glower pretty badly, and also I am actually pretty good at convincing people to do stuff that they might actually think is good for them.
I mean, I would say you're not really pretending to be Mia's bodyguard at that point. To all intents and purposes, you are Mia's bodyguard at that point.
I'm not Mia's bodyguard. I'm Mia's.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is that there is no extra leverage as far as anybody else is concerned in pretending to be a different type of companion to Mia.
I had an idea. Maybe given that you put your cello into their storage units, if you want to go there or break in while it's after office hours, maybe less people around, you could turn up and try to get your cello out because something's come up.
Before we leave the debrief, though, the briefing section, you don't have a safe house. You're all currently stuck on light loaded.
I will spend an intel to take care of that because I think I have the most right now.
Yeah, you have been rolling pretty fucking great, I would say. This whole series bucket, you've been like, and you know what? Just because we haven't done it so far, because it being a sort of globe-trotting type adventure, what is this safe house like, Bucket?
It's what do you call it? A council house?
Council house. All right. Yeah.
Just trying to stay off the radar. Just a little flat, nondescript, nothing special.
Much like where I currently am right now, when not with a background. But yeah, I live in a housing association building. So what would have once been a council house, as is most of the private stock in Britain, was once a council house.
So basically our safe house is Will's place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll ignore the red-headed guy sitting in the corner and talking to people about what exactly?
No, he's a pal.
Goblins?
I just show up with a bottle of bourbon every once in a while.
Ignore the massive nerd.
You know what? We'll just send him to Norway on a snowboarding excursion or something like that.
That was so good. Yeah. Any case, so it is the place is a old council flat.
Yeah, it is.
So, along those lines, who is vulnerable nearby? Sabine.
Yeah, I mean, vulnerable and nearby, I think that would be, that is an elderly homes association thingy, I guess, that has been kind of moved there, and there are people living there and they have their needs basically taken care of.
I mean, you have stumbled upon one of the factors of council housing in the UK. There's some bits that have not been sold off tend to be the bits that cater to the elderly, because they're not allowed to get rid of those bits, essentially.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense then, right?
And what single thing reassures you this place is safe, Yelena?
I mean, I think maybe we have this through maybe we have this safe house through Dylan, and he has an identity here, and so he's known by the locals. But I think there's people sitting out on their front steps. They see everyone who comes in here. They see everyone who doesn't belong. And yeah, certainly a kind of an early warning system, maybe.
Okay.
Or at least we would hear, or we would see things if there were the wrong kind of people hanging around. And by wrong kind of people, we mean vampires, right?
Yeah, friendly and trustworthy neighbors, I've put down, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're in with them, they're good. If you're out with them, they're bad. They could quite easily be of, why isn't this place ideal? Apart from the fact that Dylan has charmed them already. So therefore it becomes that, hey, do you know that young lad? Yeah, you're one of his mates, are you? Oh, clear off if you're not, kind of thing. Yeah. Nice. And then finally back around to Puckett. Why though is this place not ideal? I mean, I can think of about a dozen things off the top of my head.
I think it's a little far out, a little distance. It's not especially convenient. We've got to travel a little, not a huge amount, but
Okay.
a little bit farther than we would like.
Yes, it's not conveniently.
Yeah. Also, parking is difficult. So like if somebody gets shot and we need to get them in the safe house, it's going to be hard unless there's, I mean, maybe we could do it through a back door, but it's not really like it's concealed.
Inconveniently located and there's nobody parking, which is probably one of the most British things I've ever heard about, to be honest.
But the London Underground is very good, I have to say. It is.
London Underground's great. It's a shame this is in Zone 5.
Oh, damn.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be inconveniently located because it'd be in the underground. God, I miss the underground. Not being on it in rush hour, of course, just having it. Anyways, so safe house established. Benefit yet to be defined, but that does open up all your different loads. So Dylan and Mia are going to go in via the front, right? Essentially, do we establish?
Do you really want to do the talking, Mia?
Yelena?
I mean, I think 3 people showing up is probably going to get someone's backup. So I'm happy to be in someone's ear and as backup.
Well, what's the plan here? You're going to go talk to Barry Blinder. Yelena's going to. Yelena, you've done a lot of hanging around as backup.
That is true, but I mean, I can be hanging around with them. If we're promising some kind of, if you want to get into that back room, maybe.
I mean, there's the back room is secure in terms of if you are going through the storage center, then it has passcode codes and stuff, like it's just a separate area from the public area kind of thing. But this is not exactly like a military installation or anything. There are chain link fences, there is a open yard, a parking thing at the back. One might imagine that a GRU assassin has scaled a chain link fence in her time if she wished to. I just wanted to be clear that I'm not saying that this is a box that only has one way in and one way out kind of thing. It has as many as you would like there to be.
Sure. So is like going in the front then just a ruse, distraction, or like what's our? Because I guess like having us all trying to get in different ways seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
It does.
So like what do we want our primary way in to be?
I think our primary way needs to be actually you, because I don't think Barry Blinder is the guy who knows that much. He can get us in, sure, but he probably can't get us. He can't get us to the servers, I think. But we'd still need to get at the documents themselves, right?
Barry can get you into the Barry's. This is his little kingdom.
Yeah, he can get us into the
he
servers.
can get you in. Yeah.
Yeah, but finding the stuff we need, that takes maybe something else.
It is a labyrinth, by the way. This place is. If you've been to storage centers, they are a real fucking nightmare to read.
That is what I was going for, actually.
Yeah.
Is Yelena maybe on Overwatch?
Yeah, I like the idea of having an assassin with a sniper rifle in our back, just in case something goes wrong, all right, or if that's cool with you, Donna, if you feel that is enough.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be a different.
That's what I was originally.
Yeah. That would be a different on standby. I think it's an interestingly enough different one. To be this on sniper on Overwatch versus sat in a van outside kind of thing. Yeah.
I mean, I was being vague, Will, because I didn't want to declare any piece of equipment before I unveil it.
Yes. That's a good point. Well, you are surreptitiously outside on comms as Dylan and Mia goes in. I've got eyes on you. You just hear, "I've got eyes," as you go through. Dylan and Mia walk through walk past the leering guys in their Trekkie bottoms, smoking a fruity cigarette out the front, and the faint smell of urine drifting off the concrete as you go through. Into this sort of faded reception area with a carpet that looks like it was first installed in 1955 and has been resurrected multiple times since then and put down with extreme prejudice every time. And the receptionist goes, "You got an appointment?"
Good enough. Pretty much the same as one. Here to talk to Barry.
Don't know who you mean, darling.
Sweetheart, he wants to talk to us. Come on.
Barry wanted to talk to you. Then he would have told me, wouldn't he?
He doesn't know it yet. Come on, be a darling. And I will hand her a 20-pound note so she'll just stop bothering us. And give her my most charming smile. Oh, yeah. I can do that. I know that. And I always expertise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't include stress right here.
Nope.
And I've rolled a 5.
Nice. Oh, well, you should have said so. Queen Liz can always open the doors round here. I'm a patriot after all.
I'll be all.
You take a seat. I'll give him a ring. Yeah, Barry, there's a good-looking bloke down here, and some scary woman looking for. Say they want to talk to you. They got an opportunity or something. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But all right. He'll be with you shortly. Can I get you a cup of tea?
Darjeeling?
You what?
You have any Darjeeling?
What are you calling me?
You asked us if we want some tea.
Yeah. 2 sugars, milk. What?
Oh,
Bit of
I
lemon?
see. Yeah.
Well, for you,
sure.
I could find
tea.
a bit of lemon, bit of sif for sure.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, darling.
I'm playing it down so much here.
I'll just roll my eyes.
Darjeeling. Can you believe that girl calling me Darjeeling? I ain't nobody's Darjeeling apart from him. He's a bit tasty. And you know, you got eyes, and you know, a man comes out, flanked by a couple of you know, real thick meathead guys, eyes sunken right back in their skulls. And Barry comes out, and he's got, you know, Brillo pad hair, big chain around his neck, chain smoking cigarettes right underneath the no smoking sign inside. And he comes out. What do you want then?
Probably better to talk in your office.
My office. Yeah, all
Yeah.
right. You leave those teas, Barbara. And don't fucking let anybody come ring through again, you silly cow. She goes, oh, fucking hell, Barry. And Barry will squint at you and say, yeah, my office is this way. And he takes you up in through the car park, up some little flight of stairs, up into a prefab office, you know, like one of those box kind of things. And he says, by all means, sit down and tell me what you got on offer.
I will slide a tablet across his desk at him. And it has those accounts up on it, showing the dollar values in them.
Well, it's a nice bit of money there.
Yeah.
Wait. Isn't that my bank account?
Catch on quick.
I don't remember doing any business with Sao Paulo.
So here's the thing. We need to get access to something that's in here, and some people have paid you money to make sure that nobody gets access to it. I'm offering you money, a lot of it, to get access to it. Now the only problem is, to get that money, it'd get noticed if I pulled it from reputable sources. You know, like I can't just go hack into someone, to your mom and dad's account, and transfer it over. You know what I mean? I'm good at this stuff. I'm good.
Yeah.
It.
Stop blowing smoke up my arse, sunshine, and get around to it.
You got some servers here. We want them. And we're offering you this to look the other way.
And think about it, if you blow us off or try to blow us down, there's stuff in there and people will trace this to you. You understand?
Everything goes peachy. Money's in your account. No traces of where it came from.
Wasn't it a bit weird that they're coming down when we got there? You shut it, Kev. He sits back. He looks at you. I need you to maintain your cover to, you know, sell him on the idea that what you maintain your cover here is that you are who you are. Who you say you are. He's a suspicious, mean bastard.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. So rolling.
And I will allow you
expertise
to
and stress.
Yes. Yeah. So you get to borrow Dylan's expertise for this role.
And I mean, it's a mix between persuasion and hacking anyway. So
that is 6 on expertise and the gray dice.
Jesus bucket.
So I will add another intel.
Uh-huh. Yeah. All right. Their money's maybe they'll never know. Your money's as good as anything else, right? Yeah, why not? But boss, shut it, Kev, I said. And Kev is so taken aback by this, he steps back and you see his underneath his hoodie, he's got a sawn-off shotgun tucked into his waistband. They seem to be pretty loaded.
You mean besides the steroids?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But yeah, Barry's going to let you have access to the back rooms. He's going to take you through in there.
Mhm.
And as you wind your way, it takes you through, unmarked corridor after unmarked corridor. It seems they're not big on labeling storage units and things like that. Not big on paperwork, not big on much really. You see a bleary, junky-looking guy step out of one of the lockers, stinking, and he looks at the three of you, and one of them steps towards him, and he scampers off down the corridor, running out the door. It seems as though lots of shady things go on here. But he takes you through to the back bit, pulls out his key card, swipes it, the door opens, and he bows and leads you through. And as you go through, you see another Neanderthal-looking man, like, scowl out at you. And there's a man on a chair, bound, bleeding. He looks up at you, and in an Irish accent, he goes, "Help!" And then the thing slams down. And Barry says, "Yeah, just doing a bit of business. It is competition and everything."
I shrug.
Well, it's in these lockers, isn't it? That's what they paid me for. That's what those eating boys, you can smell them a mile off. That's what they paid me for, but you're offering me much more. So,
See, this is the thing. People never appreciate like that, they never appreciate the work that people like you do. They never pay you enough for it. They don't value it.
yeah,
Toe rags.
yeah, that's right. But didn't exactly give me a manifest. So, fill your boots. Kev is going to be keeping an eye on you.
Fair enough.
And you've got to work your way through, several of these lockers to try and work out, because all he has is just, there are boxes, there are things. He doesn't know where the servers are in there. He didn't give a shit. He was paid specifically not to give a shit. So it's going to be up to you guys to find it.
Okay.
Which is the first complication. It's a labyrinth. It's going to cost time or confusion.
I'll go tell up Cav. I'm not good at this stuff.
So
And a guy with a shotgun on our side is maybe a good investment.
very much. Do I need to roll for stress?
You do need to roll for stress as you realize what is happening to that man inside of that room.
I thought I needed to roll for stress as I see how much stuff there is.
Do I need to roll for stress as well for that Irish guy?
No, because it was. This is just a result of bucket 6, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, stress is
Okay.
3, so fine.
Okay.
Now,
Well, we're going to cut away.
Yeah.
Yelena.
I mean, I guess I am doing my best Batman impression on the rooftops, trying to follow Barry, lead Dylan and Mia through this labyrinth.
Well,
get an eyes on.
You saw them go into this building. You saw them come out across the car park, go up some steps, and then come back down into the building. You don't have eyes on them anymore because they are inside a storage facility, right?
Yeah.
But you've got eyes on the outside, which is why you see the 2 vans pull up down the road.
And are they just, parking up, or do we see a bunch of other Irish guys get out of them?
You read my mind. They seem tooled up, really tooled up.
Okay. Well, I guess I will let Dylan and Mia know that the Irish are crashing the party. So I hope they're ready to skedaddle when, or free their second cousin just in time to be on their good side, right?
Well, you see the Irish guys get out, load their guns. They seem to have assault rifles.
Okay.
They seem seriously outfitted.
Yeah.
And Yeah. Okay, we cut back as you see them heading towards the front, and the two guys who are supposed to be on guard duty but are too busy arguing with each other over last night's football. So, Mia,
Yep.
would you like to try and find what you're looking for?
So let me ask you this, because this may. Can I spend an intel to basically know more or less what I'm looking for?
I think if you'd done that in the briefing,
Okay.
if you'd said, I specifically know within this storage container exactly what I'm looking for, the container that it was stored in, or any of those things, in the rules, it does say you can spend intel to add details, such as that kind of thing.
Okay, but not during the operation itself.
No, not according to the rules. I'm again wondering how much of that I might change in my own little drift of this, but at the moment we'll
Okay.
carry on playing it by the rules of the game, I think.
All right. So in that case, it feels like I'm rolling to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
And does my expertise come into play here?
I'm not seeing how any of those particularly come into play for, this is essentially, it's like tossing a building or whatever, this is like, if you were to have to search this, you are essentially searching these boxes for what you want. And it's a case of physical effort more than anything else.
Okay. In that case, so I will roll with stress and expertise.
Well, what's your expertise, sir?
I mean, stress in the gray die.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And I got a 1 and a 2.
So that was an investigate. So you do find enough. You do achieve the minimum that you need. However, it's a clumsy approach, so it's going to take, longer than you would
Yeah,
hope.
we're not getting out before stuff starts going sideways.
No, not at all. In fact, and you're going to be quite further into the stacks, like in one of them around the next one.
Didn't your expertise start roll 6? Sorry.
No, that was the previous roll,
okay.
because I couldn't roll expertise this time.
Okay, why not?
Because he hasn't got any relevant expertise.
Research.
This is searching. It's not hacking.
Okay.
Research would be more going over the documents or finding stuff out about it in the abstract.
Okay.
This is like, looking through boxes. It's
nice.
It's totally fair.
Yeah, okay, I get it. I just wondering why that didn't count, but yeah, thank you for explaining that.
Yeah, I would probably go with larceny or surveillance, or maybe corporate or intrusion for this kind of stuff. But yeah,
can we declare our loads now?
Oh God, yes, I should have declared the loads already. I apologize. That's my mistake.
That's okay.
Would everyone like to declare their load? What are you carrying, Mia?
I went in heavy. I always go in heavy.
Oh, you went in heavy. Okay. I should have remembered to ask you that before. Maybe Barry would have had to take a lot of money to allow you to go in heavy, but yes. Everyone going in heavy?
I don't think I'm going in heavy. I would have gone in light because I usually go in light.
Yes.
But, I mean, I need a gun and maybe it's disguise and that's it.
Heavy would have spoiled the lines of your suit, right?
That's just no, that would be sloppy dressing if that had spoiled the lines of my suit, but I wasn't going for that exact. If Mia goes in heavy, I'll go in light. That's fine.
Okay.
I can be threatening without being loaded for bear or
and
Barry.
Of course, Batman outside is definitely heavily loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ticked those boxes like 20 minutes ago.
But you haven't tried to walk past anyone carrying all of it. So yeah. But in any case, Barry and Kev are too preoccupied to have asked about it, apparently. So you have all done that. You find, you go through, there is, I think it's by process of elimination, you have to open up each in turn of these storage lockers. And there's just like boxes, filing cabinets, you're like, can't be. And then the final one. you know, right tucked around behind the back, at the back of all of these like packs, these stacks and stacks of things. And of course, when you find the Servamere, it's in these boxes. You open it up and there's the racks, and you pull it out, and that's when you notice the small webcam attached to a battery pack, staring back at you from the top of the servers.
I will extend a middle finger to the webcam.
And that is, of course, when we hear the first gunshots.
Can I have chatted up,
Oh,
Kevin?
yes. Yeah. Let's have
Because-
Kevin before. Well, we'll cut back to Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin and Dylan.
Yeah, I'll just ask him about football, because that is the topic that European men are supposed to know about.
More of a rugby boy, really.
Yeah, wow. I don't know anything about British football. I barely know things about German football. So, but Dylan will have studied that for this, so he will know what last games was at, what was especially scandalous about it, and what kind of absolutely egregious error the umpire made.
Yeah, Kev, you know, agrees with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And you bond over football. You get the impression he'd talk to anybody about the football.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, am I trying to seduce Kev? Is that a good idea? Is that something I would want to do?
I don't think that Kev is really open to the idea of being seduced in this situation, but he may be open to the idea of being very favorable to you. But I think that's not really going to get you that far, frankly, with Kev.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah. Yeah, but I might want to put the nugget of error in his head about the way Barry treats him.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And the fact that, I mean, an enterprising and intelligent guy like him, he could do a lot better. You know?
I mean, he is a thuggish criminal. You can definitely appeal to his lower nature.
Yes, I will do that. I meet him on. I will tell him that I will go out and say it, because I feel he's not very good with subtle hints, that we might, you know, need somebody on our side.
Yeah. You know, that all that money that we just offered Barry?
Yeah.
A little slice of it for you, Kev, if you want
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If you'd like to roll me persuade.
Sure thing. And I will add stress, because that's stress is a 6, so that my stress goes up, and I get a point of intel, and it's good thing I added the stress. The other 2 were 1s.
That is a very good thing. And Kev says, yeah, well, but it was a 6, so you get an extra benefit from it, which is, what do you want the extra benefit to be? Because I think what you can get out of this is that Kev, by default, Kev is willing to take, you know, he's like more that he's very interested in your money. But he says that he won't, you know, he wouldn't cross Barry. He's seen what happens to people who cross Barry. So as long as you can keep it all on the down low, he's got your back, you know. But like, he won't turn directly on Barry if it comes to that. But you do have an extra, benefit, so you could push it further.
Yeah, I know. Maybe that's the crow loose on the offset of conflict. What do you mean by that?
He means free the
Irish guy.
person that is being interrogated.
I will tell him that we have an interest in the Irish guy. We might need to get him away from whatever Barry's friends are doing with him.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm not good at talking my way through things, but if you reckon you could, I could give you an intro if you say that we're here to take care of him, I guess. But we got to get rid of the body, innit? I mean, Barry never likes us to kill him here, so.
Yeah, it's a good plan. So I'm good at talking to people, Kev.
All right. Yeah, cash though.
Yeah. Okay. I think, do I have to declare cash?
I'm gonna say yes. You have to
Okay.
declare 1 load worth of cash.
Okay. That is the one thingy here, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll give him the cash.
Cool. And
Sure.
Barry will, Kev will lead
Kev.
you off to the
Where's
to the locker.
cash?
I don't think it exists on there. I think it's just
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, no, but it's fair. Fair to take off the load for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there are more things that necessarily exist in them, like the sewage serum, for example. But yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. So let's have that have taken place. Well, a thing, Elaine has just been watching the Irish guys get ready to lock on while this is all going, and you will be walking up to the container, and you'll have been introduced by Kev, and he'll have done that spiel, and you'll be about to say something, as they look squintily up at you, and this guy bleeding from his torn and battered face, and they're just about to sharpen the knives, and then they turn, and then that's when, of course, the Irish guys go up to the 2 guards on the front and and come in through the front door. And Yelena.
So yeah, now I'm looking for an update from Dylan and Mia and steering them towards the other exits, right? I want to steer them away from these rampaging Irishmen.
Yes.
It's like being in Temple Bar on a Saturday night right now. So it's I would not dare to tread there.
If you'd like to spot for them, you could like reposition perhaps and do some like through a scope or something, if you declared something that would allow you to do that. Like I think binoculars are in there.
Yeah. Well, I think I can probably use the telescopic sight on a sniper rifle, right?
Of course, yes. That would solve 2 things in one go, but I didn't want to,
Yeah.
I wanted to start you off with a smaller one if you wanted to go there.
But or maybe the line just comes up with Yelena just looking through a telescopic sight that is not attached to the rifle right now.
Oh yeah, that could be fine. Yeah.
So it's keeping it slightly mysterious.
I will allow you to change binoculars into sniper rifle if you go up from there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that you've established that.
Yeah. The other reason I guess I am being a little bit coy is I don't necessarily want to have our safe house declared as heavy weapons straight away.
Yes. Yeah. Makes sense. So you set yourself up in that position. Would you like to roll me an investigate?
Yeah. I don't. I'm just trying to think. Is this? I'm not sure this is tradecraft, like telling people how to get out and avoid these people. That seems like it's something else to me. I'm not sure what that other thing would be, but
surveillance.
Surveillance, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna take my stress die and roll it, just because I don't have eyes on for a shot, so I can't actually protect them. So it's a little bit stressful.
Yeah. What I'm thinking this will probably offer you is you've got eyes on the different ways in and out and the movements of people to within a degree, right? So you can see what Barry's men are doing. That's the bare minimum that you'll get out of this is kind of like, I'm seeing a clearing on the east side, go kind of thing. Okay,
let's see what the dice say. The dice say bare minimum it is.
Ooh, yeah, well, that's what you see. There's the gunshots go off and you see people coming, some of Barry's men streaming in from the car parks, the loading bays and stuff. You see the 2 van full of Irish guys. The one of the vans pulls up forward once the gun's gone off, and then it basically smashes through the gates, opening a beachhead into the back, and it is just like open gang warfare going on inside the exterior, but you get eyes on, so we know fictionally the other two can go a route that you tell them to get through this, and it will not be the thick of the fighting, essentially. But
Sure.
on a 1, I well, I mark full heat again. So it's a good job that no one's declared that safe house. Otherwise, I would have something to spend my heat on. But okay, Puckett, the gunshot goes off. You've got the server.
Mhm.
Anything you want to do before you leave? This Wi-Fi cam, this you head back out, and well, you know, Dylan
Really
has
quick.
told you the plan already over the comms, you know, as you were going out, like you could hear all of that, right?
Yeah. Could we go ahead and take a break?
Oh, sorry, yes, but let's take a break. 5 minutes work for everyone?
Works for me.
Okay, see you in 5 minutes. My first question is, did Dylan tell Mia that they were heading off to go and
We're on the comms. He said
yeah.
to Kev, let's go and get the Irish guy. So I think Mia can kind of
Yeah.
deduce what he's going to do.
Oh yes, yeah. No, that was more a case of, did you want to have told him, or do you want to have the fun of the not knowing kind of thing?
No, I mean, we are
Everyone's on
partners.
comms and tacnet.
I don't want Mia to be in the dark in this labyrinth here.
Okay,
No.
So Mia, you are, you know, when you get out of this storage box, you can hear gunfire ricocheting, you can hear things. Yelena tells you, gives you an update on what's going on. You
Really
know that
quick.
Dylan is outside, is around the corner.
Are we having to pull out like an entire rack server, or can I just like, are like there hot swappable drives that I can just pull out?
I think it'll be a technical role to, you know, identify the right bit, disconnect it properly, because it is you know, there are screws and things involved, right? Like it's racked in a more secure fashion, but it's probably not that hard for you.
All right. So you said a technical role?
Mm-hmm.
I will roll all 3. There's a 6 on expertise.
Good Lord. Another intel and another.
Let me roll for stress real quick.
Yes.
And that is 4. So stress goes up. I will, instead of marking stress going up, I'll just uncheck that intel that I received as I review what I already know.
Yes. I think the scary thing about the conspiracy is you realize how much of this you're going to have to leave behind. You know,
Yeah.
how much more secrets there are here. Seems as though the conspiracy has had to really evacuate some of its facilities, move things around, try and avoid scrutiny from whoever's, you know, the organizations that they're hiding within. And there's going to be so much left behind here. But you do succeed brilliantly, so you get an extra benefit, if you wish, from this. And that could be in terms of doing it, you know, faster and more effectively, so that you get a better positioning as you enter the, you know, the melee between the Playboys and the Moldy Crows.
Is this stuff that the conspiracy needs?
Yeah, I think to an extent some of it might be, if you were. So if you know, it's operationally important to the conspiracy, or at least it needs, some of it's going to be operationally important to the conspiracy, and some of it's going to be, you know, it's being held here until they can either fully sanitize it.
Yeah, but the thing is, I also don't want to take away Yelena's ability to have a sniper rifle, because we get weapons or tech stuff, right?
Or you can call in a contact.
Ooh. I don't actually have any of my contacts listed.
No. The man who rolls 6 all the time never has to declare a contact.
All right. Let's see. We got smugglers, forgers, another smuggler, an information broker. Who else do we have?
Fixer. You can just declare a different fixer. It could be a smuggler,
The cleaner.
a cleaner erasing the traces that you leave. You got Yun Mai, oh, it's on Constantine. I apologize. I've looked.
Yeah,
too
the
far
Italian
across.
cleaner.
Yeah. But you could declare your own fixer.
I could.
Could be Statham Jason.
So I met this dude named Bear a while back. I don't actually know his name because the guy's like 6'8", weighs like 400 pounds, like hair coming out of his ears, a beard midway down his chest. He is a mammoth human being, yet shockingly kind, nice, gentle hands and whatnot. But he's a demo expert.
Okay. He's a bomb maker.
And by demo, I mean, I'm pretty good at the stuff. Bear is world class.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call Bear in and say this, and like send him the location and say, this needs to not be here in a couple of hours.
Nice. So you are going to use a Bear the bomb maker to declare your C4 and detonator, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will
And
mark the 2 gear for that.
And the extra benefit is that what's going to be destroyed here is going to be important. It's going to set whatever you come into in the finale is going to be in a weakened position because of
it's going to screw up the conspiracy once they find out that this stuff that they hid in this out of the way location is now suddenly gone.
Yeah.
Their security through obscurity didn't exactly pay off.
Exactly. So we can cut away from you there with, as you wrench out the hard drive and then flip open your probably like what kind of bag does Mia have?
I think right now she's got both a duffel bag as well as a backpack.
Yeah. So you open, I don't know, the duffel bag, and inside there is glistening C4 with a little bear sticker on the detonator.
It's like super cute. He had them made up like these kawaii little stickers. They're just adorable.
Dylan, inside, you can hear the the guy turns to you and he just goes, "Yeah, take him. We don't want him." And they give you the Irish guy.
Okay.
And yeah, make sure you make him suffer though before he goes.
Yeah, sure thing. Hey, sure thing. Hey, give me your gun, maybe. Mine's a bit compromised.
Nah, mate.
Come on.
Nah. It's my gun, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think I can talk to Barry about it because I mean you've got more than one gun, don't you?
I mean, he's just gonna tell you to F off unless you give him a reason to give him a gun beyond. Come on, man.
Oh, okay.
Give me a gun.
Damn it. I don't have a good reason here, but I need his fucking gun.
You can just have a gun. That's not a special piece of
yeah, but I want a gun for myself and the Irish guy. I
and
don't
the
mean to rescue the Irish guy. I want me to arm the Irish guy.
You can steal a gun.
Oh yeah, then I'll do that. Like okay, yeah, just go. I'll take care of this.
Bump
Cut his
into
throat
someone
or
as you walk.
something.
Bump
Bump into
someone
him
as you walk
and just get his gun.
past. Okay. So I'm not seeing your expertise fall into place there.
No, not really, no. Not a pickpocket. I'll roll with stress. Come on. It's a 4 on the stress die.
That's a 4. You achieve it. So you manage to palm a revolver off one of these guys.
Okay.
And you slip it into the Irish guy, who we should give a name, the Irish guy. Donna, give me an Irish guy name so that I don't come up with something massively stereotypical.
I mean, that's the question, right? How
Yeah, but
stereotypical?
if you do it, it's fine.
Michael.
If I do it, it's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want like a common name or an
Whatever you
obviously
want,
Irish?
just whatever you choose, man.
Okay, we'll call this guy Cole then,
Okay.
Cole.
just to make it difficult for you all.
Cole.
Cole.
You can slip him the gun as he like staggers behind you, and he'll just like nervously.
No, I just stand there and say, look, whatever your name is, probably can't pronounce it. You don't like these guys, right?
And then you're talking to him. That's when we hear the gunfire, and he's like, yeah, no, what's going on?
Your guys are coming for you. I'm giving him the gun and say, why don't you go and meet them? Shoot some of these guys here. I don't like them.
Sure. He runs off around the corner, and you hear, fucking hell, he's got a gun. And then he's got my gun. Shit. And then
I turn to Kevin and say, let's go. These guys are busy now.
Kevin is just like, holy fuck.
Come on. Kevin is an Irish name?
Yeah. We got to get out of here this way.
Okay.
And yeah, as you're running, I think that's enough to have, do a flee for your life, I think, as you try and avoid, because currently you are now, it's just such a wild firefight going on that anybody could get hit.
Yeah.
Do both of us need to roll?
Yes, you will need to roll that as well, Mia. So I'll actually have Dylan roll it and then you.
You're blending into a crowd, not blending into a crowd.
I'm not seeing.
No. No expertise here. This is not a crowd that I can blend into with a disguise, I feel. Okay. So it's a 6 on the stress die. Okay. I think I get an expertise. I spend an expertise. I don't want my stress to go up.
You spend an intel.
Yeah, I spent
Yes.
the intel that I get for the 6.
Yes. Good call. But you get an extra benefit.
Mm-hmm.
So you make it out. You can tell me. You Kev makes it out as well, right? Like that seems a good benefit.
Yes, that's a great. I like that benefit.
Yeah.
But I would have. What did Mia roll though?
Oh well,
Before
let's
we
find
declare,
out. Well, let's
before
see.
we declare that benefit, because
Okay.
I'd rather get Mia out than I get Kevin out.
Oh, damn. Didn't fall into my trap.
Righty. So stress and regular die, because expertise doesn't really apply here.
Yes.
Yeah, only digital intrusion, unfortunately.
Digital extrusion wouldn't have even helped you.
There's a 6 on the expertise.
Ooh.
Jesus.
Or not expertise, but on the gray die.
I can't believe the number of 6s that everybody but Donna is.
This is not the
We're
game
getting
where
all
the,
of Donna's 6s.
Yeah.
the luck
I
of
have
the
been in this
Irish does not
position.
apply here.
And let me roll stress real quick.
The
I mean, I've
inverted.
rolled 1
Yeah.
in these 4 sessions, and that was
All right.
to keep my stress below 6.
So stress, I rolled 4, which means it would go up. So I'm going to spend that intel to not have that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And just because, I mean, we're basically out at this point. I'm going to spend another intel to reduce my stress further, so I don't have to reduce it, so I don't have to do anything in downtime for stress. Because I mean, this is a relief. We're just getting out here. And I think the special benefit that I get is that, I mean, Dylan can use his benefit to get Kev out. My special benefit is that just as we're walking out, I'm going to cool hand Luke this stuff, and I'm going to pull the detonator out and click it, and just like the bomb will cover any evidence of our escape.
So, due to Elena's guidance from the outside, right, and you're both pretty spectacular rolls on fleeing for your life. You, Kev, and Dylan will make it out through. Where do you think Elena's directed them? Where do you think is,
I mean, I'm directing them right to where I've parked the Vauxhall.
Yes. Yeah. And that is, I think, round the back of like a loading bay, just over a thing. Like there's a set of crates that you could just step across, but really shoddily stacked up on the side. And you've worked out that because it's not really an entrance, it's not one of the thickets of firepower. But so Puckett, how big is this explosion going to be?
You can't see it from space.
Okay.
But look, Barry's going to have to take some of the money that is now free and clear in his accounts to rebuild a large portion of his lockup.
Okay, so a good chunk of the lockup suddenly explodes. You feel the heat wash. Kev yells as he's climbing over the fence and falls on his ass onto the ground. The two of you, much more stylish and collected, of course. Yelena, of course, as they get over the side, is when the third van of Irish gangsters, screeches to a halt at the top of the alley, steps out, and then goes, "Fuck!" as it blows up. They've got the drop on your fellow operators. What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm gonna be shouting at the two with a Kevin in tow to get into the car, and before I make our getaway.
Okay, but you can screech the car. Do you want to do something else and screech the car up to cover them and then drive off with let them jump into the back and drive off?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I'm screeching to cover them, yeah, I'll put the engine block in between them and.
So this is as I think Alan reminded me last time. Let's say this is what I'm pushing for is that this is a confront them one way or the other.
Okay. Sure. So.
But if you use the car in this sense, then you'll be able to get everybody in the back and screech off without.
Sure. Yeah. So am I?
So it is
taking them out essentially with the car.
Yeah. You're taking them out with the option of. I think the move name "take them out" implies that you're always trying to take them out, but it also includes avoid their attempt to hurt you or some other narrative outcome that you lose control. So 1d6 plus vehicles for sure.
I'm presuming I'm not using deadly.
No, it's not deadly. I'm
deadly, but
you could have said that you run them over, but I think that would be then if you run them over, the chances are that you're probably going to get caught up in the alleyway rather than like flee the scene. But it is plus vehicles. You can add your stress die if you want to take the risk. The threat is able to do you harm, so that's one risk die. They are, because I chose the complication of everybody's got heavy weapons, so they have heavy weapons here. So that's 2 risk die. But they are not supernaturals, and they are just mooks, so that's just 2 risk die.
Okay. So yeah, I will throw in my stress die just because I feel like there's more than just me in this car. I guess as they bundle into the car, I'll nod at Kevin and go, "Kevin," just to freak him out. And then like as I go through the gears, I'm telling people to fasten their seatbelts. As a 5 on my expertise, I also got a 5 on one of the risk dice.
Okay. If the risk die rolls equal to or greater than your highest roll, you will suffer a harmful consequence. Roll 1d6 to find out how bad it is. And it will be +3 on the result anyways. So really,
I rolled a 4, so that is
I don't think that
no
nameless
bother.
pawns. Yeah, I don't think nameless pawns can actually kill you. If it's +3 for the nameless pawns, and it's 1 to 3 for consequences, then on a 4+, a nameless pawn can never kill you.
That is very nice,
Yeah,
actually.
okay. I've never noticed that before.
Have we ever been up against nameless pawns?
No, and I'll be honest. Now I'm seeing why. Because I thought giving them heavy weapons would put them on some sort of even keel, but yeah. So it's you were lucky this time. It hurts, but you'll live. I suppose. You know, the fragment of glass that punches through the windscreen, and then that's when you turn around and go, Kevin, blood just down your face, right?
I have a a movie worthy tiny bloodline across the top of my cheek.
And you are racing away, but I am going to spend one of my points of heat as you know, all the gunfight and then this huge explosion has drawn the flying squad. SOE is moving in. You can see sirens running throughout this area. It's not the conspiracy, it's not criminals, it's just the police. So what's the plan, Yelena?
I mean, my plan is to get off the street before they arrive. Like even if I'm just going like 2 blocks into a parking garage or something like that. So
let's flee for your life.
Yeah. So fleeing for my life. I guess vehicles counts.
Yeah, vehicles counts for sure. Yeah,
running away in a vehicle, fleeing in a vehicle rather. And yeah, let's make this stress die work for me. Yeah, if we I guess if we get caught, we will think about what non-lethal approach you want to take. And that is a 6 on my driving experience. I think, you know, my driving is coming through for me today. And this is because obviously Yelena was originally in the first Night Black Operators game a driver.
So the further you stray
Finally
from that
6,
driving,
yeah.
the further you stray from God's light, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So mark intel, and then why don't you describe for me the incredible driving that Yelena does? As you know, we are basically, you know, it's panda cars, there's a police helicopter, this is a huge thing, there's an you know, it's early days, but already every unit anywhere near the area is coming over here. You can imagine the shit that would kick off if in like, you know, Upper Essex or Kent, this kind of thing kicked off.
Yeah. So I think, you know, because we're trying to get somewhere very specific and not raise any suspicions while we're getting there, we are like doing this kind of very fast acceleration when no eyes are on us, and then like slowing down to a, you know, 20 miles per hour, you know, through these streets. And I think, you know, one of these squad cars is kind of around the corner from us, and we can see the reflections of the sirens off the opposite windows. And, you know, we just stop. And I roll down the window in order to hide the bullet holes that came in from our Irish mobsters. And, you know, I'm just exchanging a word with some old lady across the street, you know, and like waving her to cross.
Yes.
And, you know, we're just sitting there opposite the cop car, and they're just like,
there's a bit
waiting for the granny, and
cop cars are coming right up behind you, and Kev is like, oh fuck, and then you just put your indicators on and pull over to the side, and it screeches past you, and you see the copper in the car go, nice one. You know, like as you got out of the way.
And then, you know, maybe we go another couple of blocks and then like scream up a multi-story car park that's, you know, developers are finding very, very profitable.
As that cop car drives off and the old lady's like, and you go past her, and she's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Nice. But you make it back to the safe house. Do you drop Kev off somewhere? Or are you going to spend some, well, what? You guys have made it back. This has been a successful operation against a fairly low-level conspiracy node.
Nice.
With some complications. None of you had to called upon any of your safe house, so it's not a target. So I can't do the SOE raid that I had in mind, as they trace your license plates back to the flat.
So sorry.
I know. But the debrief. Where is the debrief on the heat and intel? The debrief. Yes.
Here's one note I'd like to make.
Uh-huh.
Like while Kevin's in the car, I go ahead and I finalize the transfers into Barry's accounts and set up a nice little drop for him I create an account for him in another bank, and there's like, I don't know, 20,000 quid or something like that in it.
Nice.
And show it to him and say, you know, you can tell your boss we're square.
I mean, I don't think I'm going to be saying much to Barry anytime soon, to be honest. I'm not sure how I can explain any of this.
We had you at gunpoint.
Yeah, he's doesn't, well, don't know what it was about you that made you think he was a reasonable man.
Yeah, I had the feeling from him that having you at gunpoint wouldn't make much hay with him. No, find yourself some other outfit. We might call on you, and I'm spending an intel to recruit him to our cause. I guess that's possible, right?
Yeah, you can spend intel to provide fictional cover for the prisoner's reinsertion into the conspiracy as a mole. So essentially, you know, he is going to just be a part of the criminal element, keeping an ear out for you. And with that intel, I'm going to say the fictional cover is that Barry didn't make it.
Ooh.
In that
Nice.
case, I'll just transfer that money over to Kev. He can start up his own organization.
Oh, Kev, the new leader of the Playboys. Yeah. Okay.
So it's like his asshole boss is dead, and he's now basically rolling in cash. That's a pretty good day.
Yeah, it's a good day for Kev.
Yeah. Hey, be nice to Barbara, right?
Oh yeah, she's an angel. She's gonna make
Makes
an honest woman. Gonna make an honest woman out of her one day.
Yeah, you got the money now.
Yeah, just have to see what my wife says about it.
Oh, okay.
God bless you, Governor. He fucks off into the night. No, he's but yeah, Kev is able to be around your as a conspiracy mole. But we should return to the objective. Did the team achieve the stated objective of operation? You found Axel Logistics, drive on the operational requirements of the Prosperine, different schematics of it, all things that you can use to investigate for next session to flesh out more detail, or to provide details about the Prosperine. So you have a much more of an insight into what it is now than you would have done beforehand, and maybe declare some of the any interesting materials that may have been delivered to the Prosperine, which could tell you things about some of its inhabitants, perhaps. And that's you can reduce your stress by that for that, but there were no supernaturals in this mission, because I thought I'd see what it would be like, and I also couldn't for the life of me, in the framing that we'd established, how any supernatural would end up with the Playboys. Frankly, it seemed below them. So everyone reduces one stress, and I suppose, what would we like? Is there anything in particular that we would like to declare that we've found out as part of our data that we've gathered from the Prosperine, just to cover it before we go into the next session?
Is that something we can declare in the next session as
Tell
we
you
need
what.
to?
Why don't you all take an extra intel? You all take
Fair
an
enough.
intel, and then that way, this is things that you can use to declare details for the Prosperine, or challenges. Like we've yet to see Yelena take on a full squad of paramilitary soldiers, for example. That kind of thing.
Exactly how I want the character to go out at the end of a series, right?
Jacked up on suet serum,
Yeah.
taking a fair down on everybody who comes. But yeah, so next session will be the Prosperine with Alan. Constantine will return from his long night of the soul, long tea time, dark tea time of the soul, or his research sabbatical.
Nice Douglas Adams reference.
Yes, yeah. And I guess that's the session, right? I don't think I'm missing anything left to do. We could do a quick round of Seek Relief from the Horror if you'd like.
Yes.
Yes, should we do a quick round of
Or-
Seek
yeah.
Relief from the Horror while we've got the time?
Or at least some downtime. I want to see
Yeah.
Yeah,
the,
let's do
Dylan, the
some
promise
downtime.
Dylan and Mia show.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, of course. Let's do some downtime.
Yeah.
So, back at the safe house, everything intact. Kev, buys you a bottle of whiskey and sends it to your dead drop with a thank you card.
Yes.
Take it away.
You know what? Question I was asking before. I think I'm going to do that. Do you want to come along, Mia, Yelena? I'm going to go steal some hats. I mean, I could buy them, but where's the fun in that, really? I think this is either Indulge a Vice, or it's probably Indulge a Vice.
You're going to do some shoplifting.
Yeah.
I'll go along with that and just surreptitiously record it just because it's funny. We can upload it to YouTube or something at some point.
Not going to upload me doing crimes to YouTube, Mia. But you're not. Don't
Good trade
record
craft.
me.
But
no.
But
no
it's funny.
recording. Yeah, it's funny, fine, but it's not that funny if people find that and I'm in the sky somewhere and they recognize me. When they shoot me in the head, you think that's funny.
Yelena, what do you think of going on a shoplift?
I mean, I'm slightly in shock that I got the invite, I'll say. It seems kind of ridiculous, but I think I'm on for it. I mean, who knows? We might find a hat that suits Yelena.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's a very Killing Eve sort of thing to do, isn't it?
So I have an idea because what I'd like to do in downtime is reduce heat.
Yes.
So how do I go about reducing the heat?
You just spend intel.
Okay. So just for shits and giggles, since I know that Dylan has an aversion to being recorded, can we say that in the process of spending that intel, the way we do that to reduce heat is that I basically knock out the CCTV cameras in whatever area of town Dylan's going on this shoplifting spree?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can spend that, and Dylan, if you would like to roll Indulge a Vice.
What do I roll? The
just any d6.
Just any d6. Okay. Yeah. And it's a 2, of course. I've never gotten I've never gotten above 3 on on the whole stress thing. Never. Not once. Wow. Okay, but it's fine.
So you do reduce your stress, but you cannot use your expertise.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
But
yeah.
So, I mean, you're ashamed of yourself and distracted by your need for just one more. You keep stealing these hats.
They're all none of them will really fit me or Yelena. I can't find a hat for Yelena. That's probably the reason why I'm so a bit down afterwards. Because I really wanted to have for her to have that. But yeah. All I could find was all these glorious hats for me, which is nice, but well, I've got enough hats, really. But you can never have enough hats, can you?
Got too distracted by your own shiny things to really
True.
find the right one for you, Elena.
It's true.
Yeah, I was about to wonder, like, who are you and what have you done with the real Dylan?
Yeah.
I have enough hats. Like,
I'm trying to lie. You know, lying, like everything else, is a skill, and a skill needs practicing. If you can figure out who that quote is from, I will give you a Deep Space Nine trophy.
Garrick.
Yes.
Yes, the best character, obviously.
Mhm.
Yelena.
I mean, I'm on 2 stress, so I'm not totally stressed out for once at the
No.
end of an operation.
You are not. Is there anything more to downtime than stress relief? I can't remember. I don't think there is there?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think maybe we just want to hang out and reveal some of our history together without necessarily rolling. Right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Tell me about the time you worked as a tailor in Dubai.
Sure thing. What do you want to know? How does this work?
I mean, I guess service industries are a great in, or a good kind of camouflage social disguise. So I mean, maybe we're comparing notes on favorite, least obtrusive, ins in an operation.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, gardener's also nice.
Plus, you get to carry heavy bags around, full of God knows what, and no one blinks twice.
Yeah, that is a good one. Hairdressers, kind of pretty good, but you have to know how to cut hair.
They have to have an appointment, right?
No, I mean, the rich people, the really rich ones, they order their hairdressers, and then you can just get yourself. You have some. Well, I used to have people who got me into that, and then I turned up and said, "Hello, I am your new hairdresser." Oh.
Yeah, Francine is out sick.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And that's like not to kill them, but to chat them up and find stuff out, because everyone talks to their hairdresser, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And also you're touching them. That can be very intimate. Touching somebody's head and touching their hair, that is a very good avenue of seduction.
It sounds so unethical when you put it like that.
Well, what I was doing is not, I mean, it's not a nice guy thing to do.
And we've all seen what happens to people who, Dylan can't trust anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, he wasn't always going in for seduction, right? Sometimes the order was, this person is no longer an asset, take him out.
So I think we need to test drive Dylan's haircutting skills. See if he's still got it.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's really just an opportunity to see Mia with her hood down.
I mean, yeah, sure. Mia, what about you?
Oh, why not? I mean, worst comes to worst, it's not like we don't have hats around. As I look at the hats that you've stolen.
It's true. And I might be a bit rusty, but this is your ear, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, if you want to roll to cut hair.
I
And that is do something else.
Do something
Yeah.
else.
okay.
See if it draws
Um,
heat.
I don't think it could draw heat, and I don't think hand to
Depends how
hand.
bad the haircut is.
And you cut the ear off, and then they have to go to hospital.
I hope I won't. No, I don't have expertise. I won't add a stress though, because this is just fun.
It's just a random roll, really, isn't it?
It's just a random roll, right? So just let's see how bad this is. It's still a 2. Why do I always get 2s? This is not fair.
Welcome to Donna's world.
See,
Yeah.
I was wondering if, a skill necessary to maintain your cover, as we've established fictionally, would get you that expertise die.
Yeah, you know what? I'd let you have the expertise die. Roll another dice and let's see.
Okay, that's rolling the expertise.
Low
die.
stakes.
Okay,
GM.
it's a 3. Wow, it's better.
Wow.
No, it's not great. I've lost.
Same result.
I saw the gray die flip though.
Yeah, the grade I flipped because I rolled it again, because I wanted to see if it could do something else. But 2s.
Oh, okay.
It knew it wasn't for real, so it said, "Why not?
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
give Sabina 4 when it doesn't count."
it's true. Fair enough. No, I think I've kind of ruined your hair, because I don't really know how to cut hair. I know how to seduce people while kind of flipping their hair around, right?
I never
I
actually
never
got as far as
said-
cutting. Yeah.
I never said I could actually cut hair, but you know what? I can.
Well, now we know why Mia puts the hood back up again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of, depending on how you look at it or think of it, kind of stylish. It's jagged and choppy, and you could probably like do a little bit of an undercut and have it look okay.
Yeah, another proper hairdresser can definitely salvage a decent haircut out of this. Yeah.
But I look in the mirror at it and I say, Dylan, come on. First you don't get the tattoo. Now you do this.
Wait, you didn't get the tattoo? I can't believe it.
Right?
Well, I can't afford a tattoo. My line of work. It's too recognizable. You know that. I told you.
When you retire from this,
Yeah. When I retire
then
from this,
you get a tattoo.
Then I will get a tattoo. I will get Mia as the best tattooed all over my chest.
Well, good. It'll kind of match this as I'm like rubbing lotion into the tattoo I got, which is a rainbow striped hat rack with 4 hats hanging off of it.
That is a lovely tattoo.
I mean, I wanted to say something about you without actually saying it was you. So, like if I ever get caught or busted or something like that, it's not like I've got Dylan, I puffy heart Dylan or something.
I think he hugs you. Just that is really sweet of you. Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you, but
oh, you lie to everybody. I'm used to it.
Yeah, I do. I look at Yelena and shrug. I do.
I mean, at least I know that if it comes down to it, you'll take a bullet or put a bullet in somebody else for me. And I mean, what more can you really ask for from friendship?
Right?
Yeah, it's always better to give than receive, right? That's what they say.
And you would know.
Counts for bullets too. Right?
You've given a lot.
I've given so much.
No one's going to roll for a Seek's relief from the horror, I assume, because everyone's on 2 and then sitting on plenty of intel. So after this cozy scene of cutting hair and banter, poor Constantine, misses on the bonding opportunity offered by this success against criminal gangs. And should we call it to a draw for now? Well,
yeah.
I mean, the very last thing is, as you're turning in for the night, Mia, as the rest of them have turned in for the night, and you're going through some of these servers, and you have your access to the SBA network, you're able to get another brief peek into the network, and you see that HMS Prosperine has a new asset. AVH2 is en route. Maria and cliffhanger. So they've definitely taken Maria, and she is definitely on the Prosperine.
So it's a rescue operation.
Yeah.
Well,
Amongst
it's a
other things.
multifaceted operation. How about that?
And I'll call it an end now, I guess. Wave goodbye to the internet.
Bye, internet.